Y'all, so I was watching something earlier on YouTube and I was like, you know what? I want to tell my sugar daddy stories. Like, oh my God, I have a couple interesting ones. That would be fun little story time for y'all. Or not really story, I guess story time. A story time compilation, I guess.
Run. I get that cash and I flip it, yeah. I get that cash and I flip it, yeah.
So before I even get into this, I have on my little fuzzy, I don't know what you call these, but I was out earlier, so, and it's cold, and I don't like my ears to be cold, so I have this on. And, you know, I was wearing this, and I said, you know, it makes sense for me to look like a little rich bitch while I'm, you know, doing this story, because that's what I thought I was going to be when I was out here sugar daddy dating. I was like, oh, I'm about to be rich and finessing, but no, ma'am. I was not, no, ma'am. But yeah, so that's why I have this on. Anyway, okay, so now that all that is out of the way, let's get into this story. If I am new to you guys, please hit the subscribe button. It would be great. It would help me out a lot. So this was around the time that I had auditioned to dance, and that didn't work out. So I was like, okay, well, I'm about to get a sugar daddy because I need some money, and I was tired. I'm like, I need some money. It was like 2015-ish, or like the end of 2014 into like the very beginning of 2015. So I was like, I want a sugar daddy. And I've been talking to friends, and I knew some girls that had had successful sugar daddy experiences. I did not at the time know that that really mainly happens if you are not black. If you are anything but black, because if you are black, it's a little different and it's a lot harder. Okay, I'm just gonna throw that out there, and y'all can argue me down or disagree, but it's very true. And so, and I mean, like, literally, you can be bad as hell and be a black girl, and literally, sugar baby dating when you're black and sugar baby dating when you are anything that's not black, especially if you're a white girl with blonde hair and like all that, is completely different. Like, you'll hear them and they'll be like, oh yeah, my sugar daddy bought me a car, and then like he paid for my boob job, and he pays my rent every month, and we're going to the Turks and Caicos like tomorrow, and then after that we're gonna stay out there for like 7 days, and he's flying me to LA, and then like he's gonna take me shopping in LA, and then he's flying me back over like to the East Coast, and we're gonna go like to New York, and we have an Airbnb, and it's super nice, and we're gonna stay there for like I guess like another 7 days, and he's gonna take me shopping in New York, and then like after that we're gonna come back home because like, you know, I have school, like I'm still in school, and oh, and he's paying my tuition. Oh, and he gave me $20,000. Like, he gave me a purse and had $20,000 inside. And you be like, bitch, what? And then you go over to the black girl side of sugar baby dating, and it's like, girl, I done asked this man if he can do $1,500, $2,500 a month, and he's tripping. And you be like, why Stacy over here got, you know, getting bands and trips and college tuition funded, and then we over here, and it's like, you know, not to say that we don't get that too, because I have known black girls that, you know, have got that too, but they had to put in a lot more work, and the finesse was a lot harder. And a lot of these accounts, when you go on the accounts, like they'll literally say stuff like they'll try and say it like nicely. They'll try and be like, oh, please do not message me if you are African American. I am not attracted to African Americans. Or the things will say like, I prefer blue eyes and blonde hair, Caucasian girls. Do not message me if you are not this. Or it'll say, please don't, like, I only like white. No, it'll say I only like Caucasian, mixed race, and Hispanic women and Asian women. So yeah, it'll say stuff like that, and then you'll be like on the website, and as a black girl on the website, you'll be like, okay, so basically nobody likes black girls, and if they do like black girls, they're into like master slave domination. Bet. Like, I was, y'all, okay, and I'm not making that up. Like, this is all stuff that I've actually seen and experienced. I've had a man message me and be like, I'm into master slave. And this was like, again, back when I was like in my whole little sugar baby, like trying to be a sugar baby. Not to say if it came along now, I wouldn't accept it, okay? If you trying to, you trying to throw me some stacks, I'm here. I'm just saying. But this was back when I was actually like, I'm gonna do this. So, I had one guy, he messaged me, he was like, I'm into master slave role play, like domination role play or something like that. And he proceeds to write me this, and mind you, all this was going on I was on Seeking Arrangements. He proceeds to write me this long dissertation about how he is into master slave role play and he wants me to be his slave and he wants to be the master. And I'm looking like, Steven, oh my God, Steven, calm the fuck down. Ugh. What the fuck? Like, I'm like, what the girl? I was reading that message like, what the? So anyway, that was one of them. A lot of them would be really creepy. What I can say is a lot of them are freaking creepy, and the only reason they want a sugar baby date is because they want to have sex with a younger female, which is creepy as hell. And that's another reason that sugar baby dating really just has never worked out for me. It's just because I'm not throwing you my cootie cat. You are not sticking your old wrinkly little peen in my cootie cat. Like, oh boy, bye. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. Oh God. I could see a sugar baby arrangement where if you were actually attracted to your sugar daddy and then y'all had a sexual relationship, cool. Like if I had a sugar daddy hit me up that looked like Mixed Steamy off Grey's Anatomy, I would be like, oh heck yeah. But it'll never be the fine ones like that. Like it's not no like Mixed Steamy or no Michael Ealy looking sugar daddies really out there like looking for girls. It'd be like really old and decrepit and lonely and creepy. Anyway, so one sugar baby date that I went on, y'all, and actually we went out twice. So the first time we meet or whatever, we get coffee and we're just talking, getting to know each other, telling each other about just little stuff. I'm not telling him a lot because I'm over here like, when I was doing this, I would never use my real name. So I had like a little fake name I used to give them. I had a fake last and first name. I literally like had it down to a T. So we're just talking about our lives. I'm not really talking about my life, and on the first date, he was, I really like the vibe or whatever, so I want to meet again, and I really would like to discuss doing an allowance. And I'm like, oh, perfect, because that's what I want. And he was like, okay, well, how does $1,500 a month sound? And at the time, I'm like, oh, heck yeah, like that's lit. Even though there are girls out here getting $3,000, $5,000. But I would take $1,500, okay? So anyway, so he was like, he said that or whatever. And, or no, he said $1,700. And I was like, oh, bet. Like, $1,700, that is lit. Like, that's lit. So the second date that we went on, y'all. The second date that we went on, bruh. We go to this sushi spot. The sushi is hitting, boy. And let me tell y'all, before I even go into this, I'm gonna just tell y'all, I was being very young and stupid. Very stupid. And I know when I'm gonna have some family that's gonna see this and they're gonna be like, oh my God, I don't wanna hear it. That's in the past. It's already happened. It was 4 or 5 years ago. I made it through. I already know. I was stupid. If I could fight my younger self, I would fight my younger self. We literally would throw hands. So anyway, I wasn't driving at the time. So we met, we got sushi or whatever. Did he pick me up? I rode the bus out there because this was during the time that I had dropped out of school. I rode the bus out there and like the dinner itself was cool. It was chill, whatever. So afterwards, he wanted to go back to his house. And I had already decided in my mind, like, I was like, I'll go to his house. I'll hang out with him. I'm not touching him. He's not touching me. But it was still stupid for me to go. Like, that's why I say I would fight my younger self. It was so stupid. You don't drive. I sent my location out to, a couple like friends and stuff like that. But it's like, you don't drive. Like, why would you go to this man's house and you don't drive? So if anything gets weird, like, you don't have a way to automatically leave. Little money hungry 19-year-old me though was like, I'm gonna get this money though. So I went over there. Everything's cool or whatever. We're watching a movie. He's not being creepy. And then he's like, oh, I have something for you. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm hoping that, I'm like, okay, this man about to give me my first little bit of money. I'm hoping he pulls out an envelope with some money in it. So he goes upstairs and he comes back downstairs. This man has outfits for me that he wants me to wear and model for him. Like little like Adam and Eve lingerie outfits. And in my head, I'm looking like, first off, you got me dumb bent because I'm not getting those and I'm not getting those for you. That's point number one. Point number two is, why do you already have those? And I have not told you my size and anything that I wear. So who has been in those before? Who were those for? Who has already worn those? I'm not touching those. I'm not putting those on. Ew. That's all that's going through my head. But I'm keeping a poker face because I'm like, okay, maybe he's going to give me some freaking money after this. But I lied too. I was like, well, I can't model those right now. He's like, oh, I want you to put them on. I want you to put them on. I was like, no, it's that time of the month. It wasn't. Oh well, I'm not getting in those, no. And so it was like kind of like awkward after that, and we went back to watching the movie. And after a while, I was just, oh god, it was awkward. Like there was no chemistry. It was awkward. So after a while, I was just like, yo, I need this man to take me home, like, cause my stupid butt. The buses weren't even. I don't even think the buses were running at this time, or we were in his neighborhood, so there wasn't really like a bus stop closed. And I was like, yo, take me home. So he took me home. That was one of my little weird experiences. I was like, yo, y'all be weird. And then I also feel like I wasn't like, at that time that I was trying to sugar baby date, I wasn't like as pushy as you need to be a sugar baby. Now, I'm so like, I don't know, I'm just so blunt. So like, I just don't be caring. Like, if I say something that makes you mad, I don't be caring. So, and I feel like that's what they be liking. If you say something and it makes them mad, all you gotta do is clap back and they gonna shut that ass up real quick. So another sugar daddy experience that I had was this one guy, and he like had a really good paying job and stuff, and he was like, oh, I want to do $700 a month, which, what is that? But at the time I was also, I was working, and so I was like, okay, $700 on top of what I'm making working, I can do that. We can finesse. It's still cheap, okay? Cause me now, I'd be like, baby, $700 a month, you can't afford me, so no. This guy, okay, so the first time we met up, we went out to eat. Everything was cool, whatever. And then he's talking about his what he wants in his arrangement. Cool. And yeah, the first time, it wasn't like really anything spectacular. Like we met up or whatever. And then we met up again a second time and hung out. And the second time that we hung out, he gave me $500 to hang out with him. But the thing about that, like, he gave me the $500 to hang out with him, but I could tell, like, off of like the stuff that he was saying, I was like, oh, okay, he's gonna want some pussy soon. So I was like, after I get this in, granted it was just in time for me to pay my rent, I was like, after I get this $500 to pay my rent, this man is never gonna see me again, ever, because I'm not having sex with you, so not sorry. So yeah, he never saw me again after I got my $500, and I paid my rent, and then I pieced the fuck out. So yeah, what other sugar baby dating experiences can I think of? Oh my god, y'all, I had this one sugar baby dating experience where I went to eat with this one man. I kind of had a mix. Like when I was sugar baby dating, I wasn't like, oh, like I only want a sugar daddy that looks like this or whatever. I more so was thinking of arrangement wise, this is what I want. I don't want to have sex with you. I don't want you trying to touch all over me. No, I want somebody who just wants to hang out, talk, maybe grab a bite to eat, and then you pay me money. And they exist, but they're hard to find because a lot of these men are obsessed with the idea of having sex with a younger female, especially if you're black, because a lot of them have black girl fetishes and they're creepy. So yeah, okay, they don't want to pay you as much as they'll pay the white girls, but they definitely want to stick their little peens in you. So this one guy, this is an older white man, and we were having, and when I say older, this was the oldest one that I went on a date with, and he was like in his well into his 60s. and he used to be a high school teacher. And the way that he was talking when we were on our date, I was like, I was disgusted. I was like, I'm so disgusted. And if you're talking about all like the things that he was talking about, I was like, I know for a fact that you were in that high school classroom clocking these little high school girls and thinking about them sexually and looking at them and watching the way they move and stuff. Like, just the way he was talking, I was like, bruh. I was itching to leave. And granted, if that was me now, oh my God, again, I don't know what 19-year-old me was thinking. If that was me now, I would have said, yeah, excuse me. So I have to go to the bathroom, and I'll be right back. And girl, I would have left. And that's if I even told him I had to go to the bathroom, because I might have just said, excuse me, you're grossing me out, so you can pay for this, and I'm about to leave, bye. So yeah, he was just oh God, he was just talking about like sex and like the things that he wanted to like, you know, the things that he enjoyed doing while he was having sex and stuff like that. And I'm just like, ew. Like, one, this is the first time we've met. Two, you are well into your 60s, damn near 70. And I'm 19 or 20. I can't remember if I was actually 19 or 20, but I was either one. I'm like 19 or 20. And you're never going to touch me. You're never going to kiss me. You're barely going to breathe in my direction. No. Like, I was just sitting there listening to this man like, this is freaking gross. Like, this man is disgusting. Like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Whew, God. So, needless to say, though, 19-year-old me still wanted to eat my damn sushi because I love sushi, okay? So, I sat there, ate my sushi, and in disgust, but, okay, that sushi was busting, boy, okay? So, I sat there and I ate that sushi in disgust, and then I left. And as soon as I left, I called one of my friends, and I was just telling her all about it. I was like, this man was so disgusting. He talked about sex the whole freaking time, and I'm just like, ew. Ooh. Ew. What other sugar baby did? Oh my God, y'all. I have to tell y'all about, okay, let me tell y'all about Larry and Phil. And yes, I'm using their real names. I do not care. Larry and Phil were not off sugar daddy sites at all. But yes, so I don't know if I touched on this when I was talking about my experience working at Twin Peaks. I don't know how in depth I went, so I'm gonna tell it here too, because I don't know exactly if I told y'all the details. So Larry and Phil, oof. Larry started off mad cool, okay? Larry started off mad cool. Our first conversation, I was like, wow, he is dope as fuck. Like, he was really cool. He was telling me about his wife and stuff, how much he loved his wife. He was telling me about, you know, just all type, like, he was just mad cool. Like, he was just very, like, he was hip. Like, he was just talking, we was kicking it. And work was slow that day. Larry took a liking to me, and he would always come in after that. Like, he would always come in, he would always want to come sit with me, which was cool. That was normal, you know? So Larry would come in there, he would want to sit with me, whatever, cool. He would always talk to me and stuff. He would always tip me really big, and I was like, okay, cool, bet. Larry was cool up until he went to Magic City. Now, I do know I touched on this part in my Twin Peaks video, okay? Larry went to Magic City, y'all, in Atlanta, and he never came back the same, dog. He never came back the same, okay? So before he went to Magic City, he would hint at little stuff like he liked me and stuff, but it wasn't like anything creepy. It was like enough for me to ignore. After he came back, it was just blatant, like trying to talk nasty to me, all this other crap. I finessed Larry out of some Ugg boots, which I have on now, but I don't know how clean those actually look, because girl, these things are old and dusty now. But I think I did talk about that in my other video, so I'm not really going to touch on it a whole lot. But basically, I finessed him out of some Ugg boots or whatever, blah blah. But Larry started getting nasty. So Larry had one day like got the balls to just ask me. He was like, hey, have you ever considered like me taking care of you? And I'm just like, what do you mean you taking care of me? Details, my nigga. Like, does this involve money? Money? Ka-ching, ka-ching, like, ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Okay, like, so I'm listening, and he's like, I want to be your sugar daddy. And I'm like, oh, well, you don't say. Okay, so what does all this entail? Like, what does an ideal arrangement look like for you, Larry? And he's like, you know, I want to be your sugar daddy, but I want you to take care of me too. And as soon as he said that, I'm like, here we go. And in my head, I'm just like, okay, Larry, let me know how much of a creep you are. Bring it. Let's go. How creepy are you? He's like, would you ever consider having sex with me? And I'm like, boy, you know, hell no, nigga. Like, oh my God. Ew, you just asked me that. Girl, I said, hell no. To the no. Hell to the no. Okay, like, hell no. Larry. Larry. You know this pussy don't pop severely for you. No, never. So when I said that, he got mad and Larry cut me off. Okay, so boop, Larry's now to the side. So Phil, let me tell you about Phil. Phil would come in. Phil only sat with black girls. Phil was creepy, okay? Let me tell y'all. Phil used to have this thing like he would do with his, oh God, ew. He would do this thing with his straw. Like the way that he was stuck on his straw would just like make me want to regurgitate my whole entire soul and my life and everything. And he would always come in talking creepy and being like just nasty. But he didn't start off like that. He would always start off and he'd be like, oh, can I have your number just so that whenever you're here, like I can come see you. And Phil always tipped really good too. Even when Phil would piss you off or if you would piss him off, he would still tip you really good. So, and he always would like me because he would say I was feisty. But the thing was, I really wasn't feisty. I just really didn't fuck with him. And this was in transition to my, like, how I am now. To my, like, I don't care. I'm going to tell you how I feel. I don't care. So, he would call it feisty. But I was actually, like, I'm so serious. I don't like you. Okay, so he would always start off texting you. He would beg you for pictures all the time. Oh, I just want a picture of you. I just want a picture of you in your uniform. Like, I just want to see you in your uniform. Like, you can't send me a picture in your uniform? No, Phil. No, I can't. You're like 40 something. No, you're like 50 something. You have a wife. Ew. Okay? Ew. So he would always beg you for pictures and whatnot, and then he would always be like, yeah, if I was younger, like just like the typical, like how old men love to say that, if I was younger, I would do this to you. I hate when men say that. Like, that's so misogynistic, just to think that, oh, if you were younger, I would automatically find you attractive enough to let you hit. No. He would do that, and then he eventually got to the point where he would always, like, and Phil was creepy. Like, he had points where he would, like, had tried to kiss a girl outside in the parking lot. He would just do, like, creepy things. Like, he was very creepy. But he would pay all your stuff, though. If you were going out, whenever I was going out of town, Phil would give me money. If my birthday was coming up, Phil would give me money. He would give me money when I was in there working. He would just come in, and he wouldn't even eat. Phil liked me so much. He would come in, he wouldn't even eat. He would get an iced tea and he would just sit, and at the end he would leave me like $30-$40 just for drinking iced tea. And I'm like, oh, bet. And he would do that a couple times a week. Where Phil got creepy was, I had another coworker that Phil liked a lot too, and he had always started insinuating like, oh, I have this vision, you know, of what. Or no, Phil, every time he was about to say something disgusting and creepy, he would always say, oh, you're going to love this one. Because to him, it wasn't disgusting and creepy. To him, he was like, oh, I'm about to say some sexy shit to you. And I'm looking like, Phil, I don't got time today. I'm going to punch you in your Adam's apple. Keep playing with me. So he would be like, oh, you're going to love this one. And as soon as he would say that, I'd be like, oh, my God. Oh, here we go, Phil. Here we go. Get it out the way. What you guys say today? Come on. What? Come on. He would be like, oh, I have this, you know, this fantasy of you, and I'm gonna name the girl Blue, because I see something blue over here. I have this fantasy of you and Blue, and we're all together, and y'all are doing stuff, and da-da-da. I'm looking like, Blue will never touch me. That's never gonna happen. No. because I wasn't attracted to blue. So I'm like, no, like, and even if I was attracted to blue, it definitely wouldn't have been for Phil. Ugh. Like, Phil, oh God, he was never gonna touch me in his life. Like, ew. And oh my God, y'all, I had this one time, and I think I said this in the other video too, so I'm gonna make it quick. Phil had this one time where he had come in, and when I say I had got to the point where, because every time he would hug me, but he would hug me so his hand would be like right here, and then he would squeeze, and I literally would be like, I would like be taking his hand and like pushing it off me and shit. I'm like, don't stop squeezing my side, bro. You're not gonna keep coming in here and squeezing my side. I don't want to be touched. So I had enough, and I got to the point where I was like, I do not want Phil to touch me at the fuck all. So he came in on this one day, and he waited an hour. And again, if you've watched my Twin Peaks video, I'm pretty sure I went over this little story, so I'm not gonna go into detail. He waited an hour because he just wanted to hug me before he left. Ew. So yeah, okay, so I think that's all my sugar daddy experiences. So yeah, I don't feel like I ever really finessed the whole sugar baby dating thing, because I never really got what I wanted, because what I wanted was more so like a consistent allowance and, you know, stability, and then somebody who would be more like just cool, like more like a mentor, like somebody who wanted to go travel and do cool stuff and didn't want to be creepy and touchy, like, you know. And I guess that's asking for a lot in the sugar baby dating world, because clearly people act like that is asking for the world. To not want somebody to have to obsess about having sex with you is asking for a lot, apparently. But that's what I wanted. I wanted something that was completely platonic, and they still ran me my money, and we could hang out and do like little fun stuff, and they weren't creepy. But in the sugar baby world, that is like finding a damn unicorn. So yeah, so those are all my sugar baby dating stories. So yes, I will see you guys in my next video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And okay, y'all, bye.